Alright, so check this out, you know what I mean? Making this little content, you know, because I've been watching these videos with the OG Percy situation with the, you know, back and forth with him and the Hoovers from LA and the Five Deuce Hoover Crip gang and Gangster Crip and this whole Texas, California, you know what I'm saying, situation. So look, I'll give my take on it, right? And, you know, don't mind me, man. I'm like sliding through traffic, so, you know, I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled on the road and shit. But so check this out, right? So boom, and like we got hella Five Deuce Hoovers here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Tennessee. I'll just put that, you know, give you that much. You know, there's hella Hoovers up here, right? You know, I done been locked up with a few of them. You know what I'm saying? My neighbor, like half my neighborhood that I grew up in is Five Deuce Hoover, right? So like I know a little bit about it, but just from watching OG Percy YouTube, you know, videos and whatnot, you know, like a little bit of game that I've picked up and that I've got from them, basically it's like this. I might be wrong, but this is just from my side of the moon, you know what I mean? Anyway, so boom. So motherfuckers from Cali, you know what I mean? Hoovers, original Hoovers, you know, brought the gang to motherfucking Shreveport, Louisiana. You know what I mean? I'm originally from New Orleans and shit. I got a lot of family in Denham Springs and shit. Anyway, so yeah, they brought it to Shreveport, Louisiana, right? And when they brought it there, you know, best to my knowledge, like I said, I might be wrong. I don't have first-hand account of all of the history and whatnot, but basically, you know, they got the gang going there, and one of the members, this motherfucker named Lil Rank, or Rankin, or Lil Rank, something like that. Anyway, so boom, he gets it, you know, he gets it going in Texas and shit, or in Louisiana, and then he moves to motherfucking, like, Fort Worth or whatever, and starts it up there. And, you know what I mean, he starts up Hoover Crip gang. And it gets pretty big in Fort Worth. Well, as soon as he gets it recruited and going, they got like 5, 10, you know, maybe 15 members max, right? Anyway, you know, he gets shot and killed. So, and another thing too, man, like them motherfuckers in Fort Worth, I don't know about the Houston Hoovers and shit, and like how, you know, I think the Five Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips in Houston, I think they represent the H, you know what I mean, for Hoover, you know, I think. But now the motherfucking Fort Worth and even the Five Deuce Hoovers here, I've seen them, you know, when they do their shakeups, you know, when they throw up the Hoover, you know, they throw it up like this. It's a CR for Cooper Road, because that's where Lil Rank was from. That's the difference, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't that they're, and what Percy meant by Renegade Crip, what he's saying is that motherfucking, they didn't have no big homies. Like, he was a part of that original, you know, group of Five Deuce Hoover Crips, you know what I mean? Like, even here, it's like, motherfuckers would bring from other states, cities, wherever, they'd be like a Crip or a Blood, and I don't even think half the motherfuckers up here even knew what any of that shit was. They're just young teenagers watching motherfucking MTV and Snoop Dogg, and just the culture of the media and rap music, and like, you know, 91, 92, 93, whatever, in the 90s, everybody wanted to be a Crip or a Blood, and you gotta figure, we're like, you know, at that time, you know, I'm like 11, 12, you know, a bunch of 13-year-old fucking kids growing up listening to rap, and all we knew was about being Crips and Bloods and shit. I mean, that's 100%, you know, I'm being 100 with you. It ain't and that's what a lot of the confusion is coming from, man. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Percy don't understand, you know, and the thing is when the Hoover shit, when it switched to criminal, whatever year that was, they didn't have no fucking internet, so how the fuck was the people that migrated, how was that chain gonna fucking follow protocol if there was no way, unless, you know, motherfucker could pick up a phone and call somebody like, hey, you know, we're here in California. We're not Crips anymore. We're criminals. A motherfucker in Texas ain't gonna know what the fuck that means. You know what I mean? They had to actually send somebody from California, you know what I mean, all the way to fucking, you know, couple thousand miles to Texas or wherever they gotta go to bring the message, you know, hey, we're criminals now. You know what I mean? And apparently nobody did that. So now you got goddamn Five Deuce Hoover, Crip gang in Fort Worth, Texas. You got the Five Deuce, and even here where I'm at in Tennessee, bro, Nashville, all that shit. There's hella Five Deuce Hoover gangster Crips, Five Deuce Hoover Crips. There's fucking Hoover criminals. Like, there's no one way of doing this shit, bro. It just depends on where you're at, what city you're in, and how big it is. Like, the numbers is what matters. The five, you know, like, if you got 100 Five Deuce Hoover Crips in one fucking city, then you got 5 guys from California who's Five Deuce Hoover gangster Crips or criminals or whatever. Like, how the fuck are they gonna? Who the fuck's gonna listen to them just because they're from Cali? Man, solid. Ain't nobody fucking giving a fuck about that shit, bro. They're gonna do what they doing. Why? Because they're bigger. And it's always a numbers thing. Nobody cares if what's right. No, what's right doesn't matter. It's what can push its way to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters. A motherfucker can tell a lie, but if he can make you fucking believe it because you're either too scared to go against it, or, you know, what's might is what's right. The truth don't matter. That, you know, anyway. That's just my take on that shit, bro. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion from my side of the moon. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, who gives a fuck? But I had a little bit of background on the situation at hand, so I figured I'd share my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my knuckleheads out there putting it down. You know, shit. You know, it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, we're just gonna keep it pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? One love.